Hi, good evening. This is Jackie, my Apex trainee, BBC. Thank you for joining me here this evening on October 11th, 2024, as we discuss the details of the cutting phase challenge that's coming up on the 26th of this month. The backstory on this is basically it was started in January 2018, in which I actually was feeling pretty depressed. I had one failed hip surgery that summer, and I was slated for a total hip replacement coming up January 2018. And so I was dealing with being overweight, unable to train, 5'5", 171 pounds with a 34-inch waistline, blood pressure 144, I believe over 86 or something like that, and pre-diabetic. So it is not looking good for me. Embarrassingly to say, as a physical therapist and a retired weightlifter advocating for strength and such, the reality is that, life happens. And so what we can do is we can change how we operate by changing our mindset, by changing our cravings, how we can do things. And so with that being said, this will entail 5 principles. One, with your fluid intake. Okay, you can drink water, tea, or coffee. And ideally, you want to drink 1 ounce of fluid per 1 kilogram of body weight. So you take your body weight and you divide it by 2.2, and that gives you your kilograms and how many ounces of water you should consume. 8 ounces is 1 cup of water, right? So for example, I weigh 75 kilos, so 75 ounces of water. So you figure if I just go 8 ounces by 8 cups at 64 ounces, that leaves me 11 ounces left. So I probably should consume about 9 cups of water on a daily basis. That doesn't have to come from fluid, it can come from your food products as well. The second thing you want to do is to avoid eating any processed foods, okay? That includes pastas, noodles, bread, pretty much anything out of a box you have to mix, anything that has like a ridiculous long shelf life. Be careful even with bananas, even though it's a natural state, and it's actually high in a glycemic index. Okay, so that's what I would recommend you do, is just avoid those products. If you're in a situation where you want to have some carbohydrates, Japanese sweet potato, purple potato would be fine, as well as muesli. Muesli is a kind of a good situation. Give me a second here, Zachary. You can have 1 ice pack since you didn't put yours in there. You get 1. I'll share 1 with you. Okay, all right. So next on the list is basically your sauces and such. So you can have like vinegar or lemon juice to flavor up your salads, but no oils, no dips. Definitely no high fructose corn syrup. The sweeteners that I've not yet talked about, you can have like honey, maple syrup, some monk fruit. I've not personally had monk fruit, but I've heard it tasted good, so I can't attest to it. But I definitely do I do honey in my coffee. So the fasting thing, that's the 4th principle. Ideally, if you can do a 15-9 or a 16-8, that means a 15-9 is basically you have a 9-hour window to eat, which means you may be on the hungry side. So it depends on how physical your occupation is, as well as how much concentration your job requires you. So please do not do the intermittent fasting if it will impair your concentration or take away from your strength. And if you're feeling lightheaded or shaky or whatever, then it's not a deal breaker, okay? So with that being said, the protein intake, as we move into the last principle, for protein intake, you want to see if you can have 1 pound of protein per 1 pound of body weight. It sounds absurdly excessive, but your muscle needs protein or will cannibalize itself for it, all right? So it doesn't sound like it's very complex, but what the process will end up happening is the first 2 days are fine. The 3rd day, you're going to hear this little voice saying, "This is not for you. This is crap. What you're doing, just cut it." All right? Talk yourself through it. Work yourself through it, because this is a discussion that you're really, for real, that your cravings, your justification, because your gut bacteria is figuring out, hey, something's not right, as well as our dopamine hit, because we eat and do certain things, especially late at night, or we're not having a great day because we were trying to allay our frustrations. Okay, so as best you can, work through this blizzard. this blizzard of cravings and trash and smack talk that you're getting, right? So by the 5th or 6th day, your cravings will leave you, all right? There'll be a calmness. You'll start shedding weight, because at this point in time, depending on how strict you stay with these dietary changes, you'll start dropping weight. It could be anywhere from like typically like 5 pounds on average. It sounds kind of absurd, but some of it's water weight. You're losing inflammation because we're getting rid of all the inflammatory food that the standard American diet has, right? So with that being said, things are going to hold steady. You won't see much change, but you will see your body shape change, and you'll see your concentration will improve. So again, your body shape will lean out, your volumetric appearance will change. Maybe on the scale, it may not reflect it as much. I actually have people that are already lean, they start gaining weight, or they're not that endomorphic with that build. And so I have to let you know, go by your appearance, how your clothes feel, and how your focus is, okay? The winter typically with this cutting phase works best for the most sedentary endomorphic person. I'm trying to be very, I don't know, like proper, okay? What it doesn't work towards are people that are strength athletes like me, because I most likely will lose anyways. So do what you got to do to stay on course. And remember, it's more about the challenge. It's more about healthier lifestyle changes. It is about shedding weight around your midsection, because your liver will appreciate it. All your internal organs will be like, finally, a break, hallelujah. All right. Secondly, I mean, your concentration will be so much better, and your discipline will exponentially increase. You don't need the motivation. If you don't have discipline, I guarantee you will have it at the end of this 30 days. And so those are the 5 points best of my brain here is just consume coffee, tea, or water. No diet sodas are allowed. Stevia is highly processed. That's not allowed. Only exception would be like if you want to introduce a protein shake or something that is may have sucralose, which is processed. However, it's cost benefit. If I'm not willing to sacrifice lean muscle tissue. That's gold for the contest. So keep that. All right. No processed foods consumed with carbohydrates, but you have to have some carbs, about 30% carbs, 30, maybe even 40. So protein is going to be about 30-40%. Remember, less feet the better. Fins are best. Two-legged creatures, and then you work yourself up to 4. No frying. Try to avoid baked foods unless you're roasting. Air frying would be optimal. Instapot would be great. Barbecue would be fantastic too. If you have social gatherings, don't feel pressure. People want to try to put food on your plate. Just discreetly move it and put it in your napkin or something. But protein's good. If you can identify it, and if it's got some color, it's probably good for you. All right, and make sure you drink enough water. I usually drink like 1 or 2 cups of water before I start my day with drinking the coffee. And you use good judgment. And if you're working 12 hours and you need something to eat, by golly, eat it. Get some beef jerky, something. Keep a jar of almond butter. Scoop it out, eat it. It sounds disgusting, but it's got fat and it's got protein, and it'll get you out of that hunger state. All right, so hopefully this gives you some guidance as to what the cutting phase is. Winner will be the one with the most percentage difference lost. Everyone's already a winner, and people's like, I don't pay $80 for it. But look at it this way: you go to the drive-through with like 3 people, that's $80 right there. 80 is the new 50. So just be supportive of each other, and know that we're going to work the grind together, and we're all lions, man. Let's go. It's Jackie Ma, Apex Training, BBC. Have a good evening. Bye.